So I have to say, I think this movie is right up there with Driving Miss Daisy and The Help. Did you ever think that you would make a movie that was so mainstream?
No. 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 You know, I try to tell stories that are of a place of truth for me, that come from a place of honesty. And this just happened to be the civil rights movement, and what my parents and what my grandparents and what my uncles and aunts and you know, what my kids are going through right now.
Well, you know, also in the film you portray all the African American characters with a lot of depth and realism. But I feel like with the presidents and the first ladies, it was more broad strokes. What made you decide to have that contrast?
I had to focus on the family, because without the family, it became a movie of the week or a miniseries. And it just, the civil rights movement was just a backdrop to what was the heart of the story, which was the father and son love story. And that is what the film is really, to me, about. It's a love story between a father and a son. And that's what attracted me to the script. But it wasn't until we got on the bus and I was shooting the bus scene that I realized, whoa, this is bigger than just a father and son love story. This is big. And it strikes right to the core, to the heart of what racism is.
Well, you know, you're very good with your actors, and I think I really think that, you know, Oprah is at least going to be nominated. But how did you get her onto the screen again? How did you convince her to come back?
Well, I harassed her, stalked her, sent her candies, threatened her.
The typical.
Yeah, anything to get her aboard. She had done Precious for me, produced for me, and so we were looking at things to do together. And I sent her the first script I sent her was a movie about a serial killer, and it's sort of like Kathy Bates in Misery, but she was like the serial killer, and we didn't find it out until the end. But I thought it was great because like no one would ever suspect her to be. She went ape shit. She's like, not. What are you, crazy? And so I said, well, we'll find something to make you disappear in, and we have, and it's really exciting.
And the last thing I wanted to ask you was that, you know, there's a very powerful line. You have Martin Luther King Jr. saying that the black domestic has been really important in breaking down the barriers of race. But I also like that you showed a lot of clips of black entertainers who clearly have also helped with that. What do you hope that The Butler does as a film for race relations and audiences and stuff like that? What do you hope it achieves?
Again, you know, I didn't do the film, as I said, I started out the interview by saying that I didn't really do this film because it was about the civil rights movement. It was a love story between a father and a son. I think that I know we didn't, Trayvon Martin wasn't even on my mind when we shot the film. I ended the film with hope. You know, Cecil's walking down, he's meeting Obama. You know, hope as what Obama's message was. And then I get out of the edit room, finishing the film, coming back to reality, and you know, the Supreme Court did their thing with the voting rights bill, and Trayvon Martin. I mean, you know, I think that we have to realize that those words that Danny Strong wrote, that any white man could kill any black man at any time and get away with it, holds true today. That just because we have an African American president doesn't necessarily mean that, and you as a white woman will never understand what it's like to, or my fellow white friends that are out there, men, will never understand what it's like to very subliminally be prejudiced upon when you're at a Dairy Queen and they just sort of wait for you. They don't. You sort of sit there and you wait to be waited on, or you get a taxi that drives past you.
Well,
that chips at your spirit.
I can imagine, and I just have to ask really quickly. With that in mind, do you hope that this film reminds people to have hope when there's so much anger and confusion right now?
I hope so.